In a small village called Eldermere, where hills met the sky and birds welcomed the morning, everyone lived a simple and peaceful life. At the edge of the village, in a little stone house, a young blacksmith named Kiran lay asleep. As the rooster crowed and the sky turned orange, Kiran pulled his blanket over his head. "Kiran, wake up!" his father shouted. "The forge won't light itself." But Kiran just mumbled, "5 more minutes." Kiran was a talented blacksmith. He could turn metal into beautiful gates, strong plows, and sharp tools. People from nearby villages came just to buy his work. But Kiran had one problem. He was always late. "Why does it matter if I start at noon or in the morning?" he'd say. "The work still gets done." One day, everything changed. A royal messenger arrived with big news. King Edric was coming to Eldermere for the harvest festival. The whole village was excited. Decorations were made, food was prepared, and songs were practiced. Then, the elders made a big announcement. "We want to build a special archway to welcome the king, and we want our best blacksmith to make it." Everyone looked at Kiran. That night, Kiran stayed up drawing designs. He imagined the king walking through an arch he had built, people cheering, and his father proud. But the next morning, he made the same mistake. He ignored the rooster. He ignored his alarm stone. By the time he reached the forge, it was too late. Elder Thomas was already there, handing the job to Rohan, Kiran's less skilled but always punctual rival. "We need someone we can count on," the elder said. Kiran felt embarrassed and heartbroken. He walked to the potter's shop, where Mira, the village potter, was already finishing her morning work. She didn't say much, but she showed him something powerful. She made 2 pots, one early in the morning, one in the evening. The morning pot was perfect. The evening one was lumpy and weak. Kiran finally understood. That night, he placed his alarm stone across the room so he'd have to get up to turn it off. When the rooster crowed, he stood up, walked to his forge, and began working. And something amazing happened. The air was fresh. The iron was easier to shape. No one disturbed him. His hands moved faster and smoother than ever before. By midday, he had finished work that usually took all day. Days turned into months. Kiran became known as Kiran Dawn Hammer. His work was now famous across the land. People no longer talked about how late he was. They talked about how great his work had become. When the king returned to Eldermere, he asked Kiran to make swords for the royal guards. Holding one of the swords, the king asked, "What's your secret?" Kiran smiled and said, "The morning." That's when the world gives its best to those who are awake to receive it. Now, when young students complain about waking up early, Kiran shows them 2 swords, one made in the morning, one in the evening. The difference is clear. He tells them, time is the secret ingredient in great work, and mornings are full of quiet magic, if you're willing to get up and use it. The village kids even made a rhyme about him. "Wake at dawn, let your hammer sing. That's how you build work fit for a king." And even though Kiran acts like he finds it silly, if you listen closely, you might hear him humming the song while lighting his forge, just before sunrise.